What's happening, YouTube? Today, what we have here is the Marvel Legends Scarlet Spider from the 25th, the Rhino Big Build-A-Figure wave from 2015. Now, just so you know, just to get this out of the way, I will not be reviewing the rest of the wave. That would be far too expensive. And at the time, the only figure I got from that wave is this figure here. But with this figure, there's a decent amount of stuff to talk about. Um, First things first, the overall aesthetic of the figure. I think this is one case where not having a whole lot of paint worked in the figure's favor because this it's a lot of red molded plastic, and I think the blue part is molded too, but it's a pretty much an all red figure with a little bit of, wait, relatively speaking, a little bit of blue and a little bit of white, and then of course silver for the web shooting parts. But I think for the most part, it worked out for this figure. The only painted parts is the web shooting parts. I think these two, the ankle parts are painted, and the eyes are definitely painted, and the spider logo is painted. Now, that's it in terms of paint. Very minimal, but I think it works for this figure. In terms of sculpt work, one thing I want to give this figure credit for is the fact that, unlike a lot of modern Spider-Man Marvel Legends figures, he don't got the damn droopy shoulders. I hate that shit. The droopy shoulders make the figure look like a figure that should have looked much better. It makes it like it brings the figure down. Um, if you've seen my Webman review, you'll know what I'm talking about. I think I mentioned the droopy shoulders in there. But yeah, this his shoulders are where they're supposed to be. I think if I could change anything about this figure in terms of sculpt, I make his shoulders a bit more broad. I make his legs, like his quads, a bit thicker, and overall just make him give him a bit more of a that super comic book esque character build. But other than that, I think the sculpt is good for the price point. Even it's a good, it's yeah, definitely a good sculpt. It's not amazing, but it definitely works because at this point I think Marvel Legends was still $20 back then. Um, so with that being said, let's go over the articulation, and there's definitely some stuff to talk about when it comes to that. So as usual, starting from the head, you can look down that far. He could look up way far. That's actually really good. Um, in terms of tilting, a very slight tilt. Not the he's not giving you a lot of he's not giving you a lot of stank attitude. It's a little bit there, not a whole lot though. Uh, in terms of his shoulders or arms go about that far. Go all the way around. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. Before the penless tech, um, the torso ab crunch is actually not very good going forward. That's kind of abysmal going forward. Not acceptable. Now going back works really well. And the spider logo is paint continues through, so that's also really good. Um so going forward, that definitely could be worked on. I'm pretty sure they could probably, if they want to redo this figure, they could put him on the new Spider-Man mold that's coming out later today. I mean, not later today, later this year. The 2-pack with Spanneret and the new Marvel Legends Spider-Man with the toe hinge. He finally bought that shit back after years. Now here's where we get to the annoying part. The hips only go out that far. This is a Spider-Man figure. That is unacceptable. In no world should a Spider-Man figure only be able to do this. He always needs the splits. He's basically an acrobat, man. You can't have a Spider-Man figure and he can't do no splits. Yeah, that's not very good. Um, Can kick forward very nicely. Nice high kick. His leg goes out to the side a little bit, as you can see. So that's not bad. Going back, not much. His buns is in the way. Um, he gets a thigh cut if you want it. Double jointed knee. And an ankle pivot or rocker, whatever you want to call it. And that's it for articulation. Overall articulation is okay. I give it a 7 out of 10. Not the best. Those hips really bring it down a lot, actually, because overall the rest isn't too bad. Like even the ab crunch, even though going forward it isn't the best, I don't think it's as bad as the hips being, how they were. But anyways, moving on to so for accessories, he has these two. He has his two wall crawling hands or open palm hands. Stay up. Stay up. He gets two web shooting hands. And he has his closed fist hand. I think that's pretty much acceptable for a Spider-Man figure. The only thing I would add is like an unmasked head. I feel like those are like the essentials. Wall crawling hands, fist hands, and web shooting hands. Now he comes since he was in the Rhino Build-A-Figure wave. He comes with one Rhino head. That head sculpt is actually not bad. Oh wait, make sure y'all can see it. It's actually not bad, and he comes with this other alternative head sculpt. I think I like this one a little bit more. But either way, I don't know if I should really count those under accessories because they don't really necessarily add anything to Ben Reilly himself. It's just it's a part for a greater whole, which I don't know. I don't know how I feel about like if you want to build a certain character or you want a figure of a certain character, having to buy like 7 figures to make 6 or 7 figures to make this one character. I don't know how I feel about that. Because there may be some characters in a wave that you don't want. But either way, that's probably a video for another day. Overall, this figure is pretty solid, man. I can't originally I thought I was gonna be hating on this figure, but besides the hips, which really dragged this figure down a lot for me, I think the overall look of the figure is pretty good. Like he has some defects, like he got this little plastic scarring right here. I'm pretty sure that's not going to be a thing for all these figures, but with the exception of little blemishes like that, I'm not tripping over that. Overall, I give him a 7 out of 10. Not bad. I think he's what we got. As I said in the thumbnail, he's what we got. He's the best Scarlet Spider that we have in terms of this particular look. At least until Mayfex decides to drop their version of Scarlet Spider with this costume and not the other costume, which I happen to like better. But if Mayfex drops a Scarlet Spider like this, oh man, it's clipped for this figure. It's over for that, and he out of here. But with that being said, everyone have a blessed day. And I don't usually do this, but like, comment, subscribe. Don't be afraid to give feedback. And until next time, peace out.